It's recording. There we are. So today I have already two questions, both about energy. So let's talk a bit about energy. There's absolutely no manifestation without energy. The essence is there prior to anything we can possibly imagine. And then there is that first expression of that mystery, and it's pure energy. It's also pure consciousness, pure love. Energy is making any appearance possible. Energy is the force of life, the prana. Without that, nothing can materialize. Even what we call the dead matter is held together, built up on energy. Every thought, every emotion, every action, every sensation is built up on energy, on prana. We can feel depleted of energy, and still the energy is there. We can feel a lot of energy, and the energy is there. Everything is based on prana in manifestation. The consciousness makes us capable of being aware of it. Consciousness makes the life vibrant, and the love is connecting everything in manifestation. Nothing is separate. Nothing is disconnected. The love connects everything. We need energy to perceive. We need energy to think. We need energy to feel. We can very well put our attention to that energy and go all the way right to the source. Anyhow, the closer one gets to the source, the more the other two aspects automatically also come in. The consciousness, the love will also come in. If we focus on energy, if we feel the body sensations, if we observe what is happening energetically to our experience, then we really are in touch with life. We are in the present, in that timelessness of the now, in that only point where we are touching real reality. Here it's alive, the prana is there. Past we have to conjure up as a memory. It's also built up on energy, that memory. And if we leave it at that, it's fine. If we hang on to it and feed the energy into it and create a reality from it that it doesn't really deserve, then we usually are in trouble. Let's bring the attention back to that present, vibrant energy of life, here now. That energy will take us all the way home to the essence, to that mystery that is prior to consciousness, prior to energy, prior to love. Now Hazel asked me recently, she has so great swings of energy. When she does her yoga, she generates some energy and can deal with it and can use it, and it feels nice. But when she sits in meditation, sometimes she feels so depleted, like there is no energy there. Still, there is energy there. But then sometimes there suddenly comes lots of energy. She feels a high, and then the emotions come in both situations. When there is lots of energy, it tends to be euphoric, feeling invincible, and then crashes again. Boom, energy gone. And along with it, the tendency is there to have negative emotions of defeat, of despair, of not having any motivation to even try. What to do about it? It is energetically in manifestation in this world a very unusual time. There are such strong energies, very, very active, and they can create all kinds of funny reactions in people. So this may happen partly because of that to you, Hazel. You said in meditation, but I understand also not in meditation. Sometimes you feel very energetic and sometimes you feel very depleted and then rather dejected, not motivated. I don't know exactly how you are meditating, but I would recommend to you, whatever you are doing in your meditation, include the breath. By including the breath, you become more and more aware of the subtle energy that is behind it, the prana. And if you give attention to it in your meditation, then it has also the tendency to balance out those swings, those ups and downs. But even when they happen, then try to observe instead of getting then fully sucked into the emotions. Just observe the emotions, even the nice ones, even the euphoric ones. Don't indulge and get completely immersed in those emotions, but just see them coming, let them be there, but observe and become aware there is something not affected by these emotional ups and downs. If you indulge, if you get attached to the nice ones, invariably the unpleasant emotions, they will also overwhelm you. So when you become aware that there is that rise of energy and has the tendency to create a bit euphoric emotions, then don't try to control them, let them come, but step by step back and observe. And you find there is a neutral ground that is not affected by all these ups and downs, these waves of energy coming and going, these emotions that have the appearance of being overwhelming, uncontrollable. If you step back, you need not even control them. You just don't get overwhelmed. And then even if the energy falls and you feel little energy, you observe that also. You observe the tendency that it wants to pull you in a dark mood, in a gloomy mood, in a mood of dejection and giving up and not motivated for anything. Then if you can step a step back and observe it, they losing their power. And the more you can focus the attention on that neutral zone, the less you are affected by this change by these ups and downs of the energy, and they have also the tendency to get less extreme. Moods are always going to change. Energies always have waves. Sometimes there is more there perceivable, sometimes there is less there perceivable. There's a tremendous store of energy always there. We simply don't have access to it consciously, but it's still here. But that perceivable energy will always go a bit up and down. But the more you can step to that space that is prior to the emotion, the less they are affecting you, and they have the tendency to soften, not to be so extreme, these changes. When the energy is low, just when you become aware that you are slowly slipping into that dark space, to that space of listlessness, of, oh, it's anyhow, has no, doesn't make any sense, nothing makes any sense. When you see that it pulls in that direction, then you just step out of it. Become aware of that space prior to the emotion. Then it's losing its power. It can come, it can be there a moment, it will go. We don't feed it. But if we're getting attached to it, if we hook into it, then we feed it and it stays on and on. For that, it's good to do the same thing also in the opposite. With the exciting, euphoric emotions, the tendency is much more to get attached and enjoy. Nothing wrong with enjoying them, but being aware that there is that neutral space prior to that. Bring the attention home, get rooted in that, and then you will be less affected by what is happening right now, and it will also gradually stabilize. I wish you well. Ario. And Nelly has written, she has a friend who is since 1 week in a coma. She had an operation, some trouble with the intestines, I think. And then she didn't come out of the coma. And Nelly and her friends, I think, as far as I understood, there are different people involved, are praying for her. And Nelly asked me, what can we do? Somebody suggested bioenergy transfer. And now Nelly asked me, what is it? How does it work? What is the technique? Well, I don't know this. Obviously, it's something like Reiki, for example, that is now somehow has picked up that name, bioenergy transfer. And I haven't heard about that. Now you ask me, how does it work? Actually, Nelly, we are doing that all the time. Because Nelly asked me also, is it dangerous? Is it only trained people who can do that? Can we try to do that ourselves, or is it dangerous? It's not dangerous. We are doing that all the time. Whenever you think of somebody, immediately energetically you're connecting with that person, no matter where that person is. And an energetic exchange will happen. Maybe very faint, very subtle, but it is there. So I cannot tell you more about that, what they call now bioenergy transfer, But you don't have to go to some trained person. You can do that yourself. In a way, you are doing it already by praying for that person. But you can also just sit down and connect with your friend. She's still in her coma, at least yesterday when you wrote. She was still in the coma. You connect with her and you will start to feel her presence. And you just send a friendly, healing energy. Everybody can do that to some extent. There's no particular technique involved. There is no particular steps necessary. If you want to do some particular technical thing that helps, you can. When you sit quietly, visualize yourself, your body that is full of light. And then you visualize your friend and you visualize how light flows over from your body to your friend's body. It's not that you are depleting your own energy while doing so. If you do so immediately, it's like the good powers of the universe will come and fill you up. Like when somebody is doing Reiki, it's not that that person is giving their own energy, but they just become like a channel that some very beautiful energy can flow through. You can do that alone, or you can sit together with friends that you are doing that together. There is absolutely no danger in it. I don't know whether this is what they are doing when they call it bioenergetic transfer, but you do transfer energy in this way. In this context, of course, I have to mention we are always making those energetic contacts, no matter whether we are in a friendly mood or in an unfriendly mood. If somebody is angry and thinks of a person, then there is also an energetic contact, but it's not a nice energy, usually to the point of being destructive and trying to create harm, even if that person doesn't consciously feel that. Just thinking angrily of somebody, one sends out quite an energy that can do a lot of troubles. Usually the other person reacts consciously or not consciously and sends the same type of energy back. And so it gives a circle. So we are doing those energy connections, energy transference all the time without having an idea that we are doing that. One needs not to be trained for that. We are connected, and as soon as we are putting the attention to somebody, it simply flows. If you are focusing, concentrating, that flow becomes stronger. So if somebody is very angry, then there is quite a focus and there comes a tremendous energy to the person that that receives that. And usually the usual reaction is that person also thinks of that first person also with anger and sends the same type of energy back. So it's good to be aware what kind of emotions we are having when we are thinking of people. Now we can really consciously make use of the fact of connecting like that energetically by connecting with somebody who is sick, or like your friend who is in a coma, and just send supportive, loving emotions, and along with those emotions come a very healing, nice energy to that person. Don't think of her with worries, because there you're also connecting and you're sending all those worries to her and making her situation more difficult. Don't be afraid that there is anything dangerous, that you could do something wrong. Just if you want to do so, you can sit down, you connect consciously, and you send healing energy. You can do that alone. You can do that two persons. You can do that the whole group together. There is no danger in it whatsoever. Okay, I leave it at that. Hari Om. Hari Om. And then I'm addressing you, my friends. Is there anyone who would like to come in and say something? You're welcome to do so.
Hi.
Hello, Leela.
So my question is a bit somehow in relation to what you spoke about bad energy. A little bit connected. I want to ask about meanness, about human race, about meanness, about kindness, about cruelty, as we have been exposed here to so much meanness or cruelty, both.
Yes.
Which is a bit, I guess, I understand that it's a bit different. Not everybody who is mean is also cruel, I suppose. But I wonder in general, what would you say about meanness? Also, I want to say that so many people, I mean, I've been speaking to people and also reading what people write on Facebook, wondering about meanness in each one of us, actually, somehow. I mean, every human being has the potential to express meanness, which is what is very mean. Yeah.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
And you want to know why this is so, or what to do with it?
I wonder if it's true, and I wonder how can some people be so mean and cruel, and is it
Right.
actually they were brought up to do what, but let's say to live the events and just everyday life. Yeah.
Right. Exactly, we were brought up like this in a world where all those energies that produce this kind of emotions are there active. And the world has been under a very dark influence since a very long time, and that has produced energies that produce negative emotions that often become destructive. Behind that, there is a purity in everybody. There is a purity and innocence that is not touched by all this. And it's there in everybody, even if people are totally cruel and mean. Under all this rubble, there is something very pure and innocent. Simply, they have cut off their access to it. If we if we learn to be conscious. Somebody is interfering a bit. Please close your microphone. So if we consciously start to open up to beauty, to truth, to reality, consciously connect with that innocent, pure space that is prior to the emotions, then we will see, okay, the potential is there for all these emotions, for very negative emotions. They may also come up for a moment, but then we see them, we don't hook into them, and they simply pass. The more you are in connection with your essence, the less they have a chance to stick around. Even if they come up for a moment, simply because it's there as a potential in all the humans. That is correct. Even if it's coming up, then we are not getting sucked into them because you feel it's against being connected, against being in touch with life. But that energy is there, trying to influence people and often succeeding quite a lot. And those people, they more and more cutting their conscious experience off from their essence. And at the end, it seems that it's not even there. That there is are people. It seems there is only evil and destruction and nothing beautiful there. But it's still there. It's simply buried very profound. But they have consciously cut off themselves so much that then these negative energies, they have full range to influence them onto unspeakable things. That things can happen that you wouldn't think it's possible that humans would do such things, and still they do them. In order that this is possible, one has to really cut oneself off from one's true nature. Otherwise, it's just not possible. It's too much revolting against our own natural instinct that we cannot do so. But it does happen, not because they are only evil. There is still behind that other thing which is not evil, which is prior to all that, which is automatically in harmony, in touch with life. But unfortunately, in manifestation, we can shut it off to an extent that it seems to be totally absent.
So the other people, once we are exposed to such evilness, to such cruelty, then it brings up also emotions that maybe we never really are in touch with, or we forgot they exist, such as aggression or hatred or yeah. So, and then in the practice, the Theravada practice, then they teach you to develop compassion to every living creature and all that. So it goes the same to compassion. I mean, we're born compassionate. We are born compassionate. We express compassion in life, each one of us, as much as we do. But then it can go away sometimes. It sometimes, personally, I don't bother. I mean, I feel compassionate, and then I am. I don't bother with specific people about. When I'm angry, I'm angry. When I'm, yeah, but so compassion is there. But I wonder, it can disappear. I mean, it's anger can take over.
Yes.
Disappointment can take over. It can disappear. And then it becomes a bit confusing.
Right. Compassion, prior to that it becomes an emotion, is that awareness that we are all connected. And that cannot disappear. Even if the emotion that may come along with that awareness that we are connected, that emotion we can call compassion, that can disappear and be overridden by other emotions that pull in the other directions. That, of course, is very easily possible. And if we are exposed to cruelty, the reaction may be also very destructive. Now, if we have that presence of mind, then we can become aware. Okay, that emotion is coming, but I can stay rooted in that space that is prior to that. When I stay rooted in that, then I need not necessarily artificially try to develop and send out that emotion, compassion. It's enough that I'm not going along with the destructive emotions and am aware that I am not affected and that aspect is connected to everything and everybody. So it's not necessary that you have to artificially try to be compassionate if you don't feel like feeling compassionate. Simply don't get overwhelmed by the opposite emotion and come back to that space that is prior to it.
Yeah, it's a strong point which you've said it many times before, that we're all connected. It's a guideline. It's a guideline, guiding line, realizing that we're all connected. It's difficult to accept. It's difficult to accept now, but yeah, we are all connected.
Right, and sometimes the situation may arise, we don't want to feel, we don't want to feel connected with certain people.
Yeah.
But we still are, whether we like it or not. All life is connected, all the manifestation. As soon as the manifestation appears out of that which is prior to the appearance, then all that is connected and remains connected. However much on the surface we try to create that sense of separateness and opposite and hatred, deep down that connection is still there.
Yeah, I'll just add that listening to you, I realized I was in a funeral this week of my friend.
Yeah.
And there, obviously, everybody was in the same state of mind, sorrow and sorrow, yeah. And then it felt very cozy.
Yeah.
Everybody was on the same, yeah. I don't know the word, but everybody was on the same page, they would say.
Yeah.
So it was like it was like under the trees. It was felt cozy, felt very close. And now you remind me, yeah, that we're all connected. Everybody.
Everybody. Of course, if a group of people comes together with the same purpose, then that the awareness of connection is much easier. Also, when we sit here together in the satsang, and even if we are physically sit in all kinds of different places, there comes quite easily that sense of feeling connected. But if people are in very much another space, in a very much another mental space, then it's not so easy to be aware of, easy to forget that we are connected. And especially if then emotions come like anger and revenge and hatred and all that, then it's not so easy to be aware, but actually, essentially, we are connected. We are so many different manifestations, expressions, but at the same time, all one. And every positive emotion that we consciously or unconsciously, but especially the conscious one, send out into creation, into manifestation, is doing something beautiful, wonderful, and has an influence. And if eventually a majority of people mainly sense emotions like this, then also that kind of cruelty has to disappear, because it can simply not more exist on that level.
Amen. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Is there anyone else who would like to come in? You're welcome to talk.
Hi, Werner.
Hello, Guy.
Nice to see you. I guess we need a lot of support here in this area.
Yes.
I will start by sharing a little bit. It feels like the world is falling apart somehow after what has happened in the South. And I try to connect inwardly most of the time, and then I feel the presence, and that supporting somehow the whole. So I'm not doing so much. A lot of people are volunteering these days and doing. I just keep teaching my Qigong classes, which are very helpful for me and for the other people. And I stay quiet a lot. We have like in the small village where I live, we are at the entrance. We put some people to like a guard, you know. The 24 hours a day, and so I volunteer there from time to time.
Yeah.
And I notice every time I come back from there, in the night I have nightmares.
Yeah.
About what happened. Otherwise, I don't. I mean, I feel quite protected and yeah, not scared of dying or anything like this. But when I come back from that entrance to the village and spending 2 hours with 2 more people, I come back and then I have these dreams about being attacked. And this morning I woke up from a dream like this, and I had the feeling that I have to get a weapon.
Yeah.
Which is really crazy for me. I mean, I it's totally against everything I believe in, and I stopped doing the military yearly service like 20 or 30 years ago, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Now I have this, I wake up with this feeling, and then after a few minutes, I come back to the normal state of presence and of what I know, but it's very strange, yeah. So I don't know if you have a recommendation about this, other than not at the beginning I wasn't volunteering because I didn't feel like this is right for me.
Yeah.
But I see the lists of every day, you know, and most of the village has left.
Yeah.
So there are only a few people who have to do it, and I feel like I want to help and support. And maybe it's just the price, you know. So I have nightmares 2 or 3 times a week. It's okay also. And then I wake up and it's okay.
Yeah. Yes, not going there is not an option, obviously. As long as you are there, living there, and there are relative few people who can do the job, you would not feel at ease if you now would stop doing it.
Yeah.
Right. But when you
and
do...
I thought at some point, sorry, I thought at some point that it depends on the people who are there with me, that maybe they have a lot of fear or like this. I mean, I guess everybody now has a lot of fear, but some were more extreme. But yesterday I was with 2 people who were quite relaxed and we didn't talk much about the situation. It sneaks in somehow, but it wasn't so extreme, and still I had this dream. Yeah.
Of course, you are always connected with what is happening. But then when you do such a thing, then obviously at that moment you get much more in conscious contact, because that's the reason why you are there, and standing guard. So you cannot escape the fact why you are doing that. And then because you're connecting there, then you let that kind of energy more get into your system, and it's sticking around, and after that in the sleep it comes with dreams and funny feelings when you wake up. What I recommend is that while you are doing it, even when you are chatting with your friends, and even if the subject is not a nice one, that you do what you are doing in your vipassana meditation, and when what you're doing when you do qigong, that you at the same time also remember to feel the body sensations and see what it is doing there to you while you are there in that situation, and consciously relax them, see the energies, and keep the energies going, flowing nicely in the system. Like when you do qigong, then you feel the energy flowing, and you can do at least, even if you cannot do it all the time, but every now and then when you're sitting together there, when you are in that situation, you relax, you remember, you feel the flow of that energy. It's like then it's cleaning out that thing that comes and sticks in the system. And then maybe after that you have less after effects when you come home.
Yeah.
Apart from that, it's a very good spiritual exercise.
It is, yeah. Whole situation is quite, it feels like pushing me deeper.
Right.
Inside. Yesterday I was kind of trying to do what you just recommended, or just being aware of what's happening. And I could see how difficult it is for some reason. It's like I'm playing a role there, maybe that I don't want really to play. I don't know.
Yeah. Then when you play the role, then fully accept that you play the role. Don't be in inner resistance. Okay, I have to because I mean, because of a few people, but actually it pisses me off to do so.
No,
then
like that.
be there and fully accept. Okay, now I'm here, so that's it. That's momentary reality. It's a fact. It's not an absolute reality, but it's a fact of experience. So don't build up resistance that is there. Okay, I'm here, then I can make the best out of it. Breathe and center, relax and feel the energy. Then again and again, and more you can become aware, even in that situation, even when you talk to people, and even if the subject is not a very constructive one, but is connecting with a lot of destruction and negativity, then still that inner glow can be there, can be maintained, and so you are not filling your system with stuff that is sticking around and creates problems also afterwards.
Yeah, this brings up that just by living here in this area, it's already like, on the one hand, I feel it's a very good spiritual practice to live in Israel.
Yeah.
The intensity is much stronger, but you are surrounded by these images and this language. Yeah. Another interesting thing is that I mean, in the last year, I'm thinking about leaving Israel again. What was happening here in the year before, this inner conflict was very bad.
Yes.
The situation was not good and felt not like a place I want to stay in. And now with this war, I don't feel like leaving in a time like this.
Yeah.
Suddenly brings like some kind of maybe a deeper sense of identification with, you know, all the symbols from childhood.
Yeah. Yeah.
The state of Israel and the Jewish state and family. So I'm kind of feeling like staying here at least as long as the war goes on, but then I will see.
Yes. Do what you feel is right.
Yeah.
And it's true. I mean, an intensity, a difficult situation like this is always an opportunity that you make use of that intensity to go that much to be deeper into your own self, into your own resources.
This reminds me that before the war, 2 weeks before, I came back from a Vipassana course. And she has her own will. So I felt very strongly in this course, and I was reminded of something you told me. When I sit in the courses, the sensations are it feels much denser, more strong sensations.
Yeah.
And I once told you that I don't want to go to these courses because when I sit alone, it feels like the body is empty, it's space. But then I go there and I have to purify their own energies.
Yeah.
And you told me, oh no, you should not think about it like this. And I knew you were right, but in this course, I really felt like they are supporting me by surrounding me with challenges. Because of the Qigong, I guess the body is more soft and spacious. And then to be with a lot of people sitting together, you feel more difficulties. And I could feel what, how to say, it's like a good thing. I have to observe a sensation, and I also realized, I just share this and we can, that the difficult sensations, it's not about I mean, it's not about getting rid of the sensation. The sensation allows me to see that if I'm resisting or not.
Yes.
That's the challenge, not to tense up when there is like pain or okay, I'll just connect that with what's happening now in the
Right, exactly. Like, of course, when a number of people sit together and meditate, there is a lot of support that everybody meditates. That general attitude makes it easier for people to stay in the meditation, but at the same time, usually in meditation, there is a lot of purification. So there's a lot of that stuff going around from all the people that may make the sensations stronger. Then you have simultaneously both influences, that you have more influence that a lot of these kinds of sensations, emotions, energies go around, but at the same time also more support to deal with it. Because everybody meditates, and that creates a special space. And in the present situation, right, you have not people meditating around you, but it just the situation creates a tremendous intensity. And of course, it rolls up lots and lots and lots of emotions naturally in a situation like that. And one is easily sucked into this emotion. But if we are capable to just turn the attention back and step out of the emotional level, not try to deny them, see they are there, so the negative emotions, the positive emotions, all whatever is coming up, but there is such an intensity in manifestation that actually I can use to go that much deeper. Then it's a challenge that we can actually use such times to really go deeper in our own resources, in our own self.
Yeah.
I wish you well.
Okay.
You wanted to
Thank
add?
you, Werner.
So, okay. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Would anybody else like to say something? You're welcome to come in.
Hello, Werner.
Hello, Nelly.
Thank you for your, I'm sorry. Thank you for your answer. Yeah, I have one more question.
Yes, you're welcome.
When we pray for our friend, and I do it at home and myself, and I found some confused. Yeah. When I, for example, when I, and if I wish my friend well and some kindness and think of her with love and warmness and something like this and wish her recover, I feel natural. But when I ask like something like this, like ask God to help her to recover, I feel that this is something, some misunderstanding in myself. Just like I point God what to do, what he should do. Like I ask him to help her to recover. But if he is the high power and like life and like high intelligence and like he's like a parent for all of us, and how can I ask a parent to take care of his child? Like I point and I feel confused in it. Yes, and from another side, I feel that my power is not so big as God's power, and it can maybe help. But I feel yes, some confused in it. But that it's not natural to ask. Yeah. What can you say about it?
I mean, it's your friend. You know her, and naturally she's in a, you don't really know what kind of a situation. For us to see from outside, she's just not conscious. And then naturally you feel like helping. And that urge to help, there's absolutely nothing wrong. To connect with her and send energy, to connect with her, to pray for her, not in order to to tell God his business, but simply coming out of a loving heart, a cry for help for your friend. It's not that God needs your prayer, but you feel like doing something about, naturally, you feel like doing something about the situation, because you see your friend is there unconscious and you like to help. So if that goes by way of prayer, there is absolutely nothing wrong. It's not that you arrogantly want to tell God what to do, but you can send out that loving feeling, please protect and support and help in one way or another.
Okay, yeah.
You can, as you wanted to do something beyond, and I talked about it in the beginning, you can connect directly with your friend and send all the healing and loving energy that you can. And then you don't have to have a bad conscience that you're interfering in anyone's business. But if it comes naturally to pray, don't feel bad about it. Pray and pray with your heart. It's not being taken the wrong way from the divine side.
Sometimes it seems to me that I do it for myself, for my calmness, just for my calmness. Yeah.
Actually, Nelly, we are always doing everything for ourselves.
Yeah. Yes.
However
Yeah.
much we are doing good works, we are doing it for ourselves first. And then if others benefit by it, that much the better. But yes, you're praying for your friend, for yourself, because you feel sad, you feel you need to do something, and so you feel that need by praying, by doing something. You are the first to benefit, and then your friend also may benefit from it. Anyone who is doing a good work to somebody else, that person is the one who benefits first. To just bring out that attitude, to bring out, to muster up that energy, the one who is doing it is the first who is benefiting. And then, if others also benefit, so much the better. But you are totally right. And once we become aware of it, at first it's shocking to realize actually, however nice a picture I paint about myself, and I want to be selfless and do good for others, even that everything we are doing for ourselves. That is absolutely nothing wrong. But we can do things that are creative, that are harmonious, that are uplifting. Then we are the first who are being uplifted. And then it radiates that energy, and people are maybe out with our external actions, we help people, and they are benefited by it. They are benefited by the energy you are sending and by your action. Nevertheless, it's a fact. We are doing it always for ourselves.
Yes, I understand it. Yes. I have no doubts in it. And I have another question. that one person said that she was very ill and she was alive, stayed alive only because some people prayed for her. And I thought of it, and can it be right if this person has her own program of life, and I don't know, her fate maybe, and something like this. I think about this. Is it possible to that her life is absolutely dependent of other people if they pray or not? I think of this. Of course, if I pray for someone, as you say, I give this benefit. Yes, I understand. I feel it, that I feel my heart open and some positive in myself, and I share it. But as you said, it's not in my power and my will if this person stays alive or not. And I just have confused with this.
Yes, things are not so totally fixed. And there may be a probability that somebody is about to die, but it's not a totally fixed thing. And then there are influences that it makes it less sure that that person dies. And then if a number of people pray for that person, this may just tip the scale that it is possible that the lifespan has been extended because of that. That without that, the person may have passed away. So it is possible because it's not so totally fixed that at that date, at that time, you are going to die. There may be a probability in a certain time, in a certain space, that most probably we are going to die there, but then there may come other influences and then we may not die at that moment.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Werner.
Do what you feel is right. And when you do what you feel is right, don't handicap it with doubts. If doubts come, you look at them, you let them come, you let them go, and you still continue doing that which you feel in your heart is right, and then you're doing the right thing.
Okay, thank you, Werner. Thank you. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om. Oh, my dear neighbors are fighting, two brothers. I don't know whether you can hear it. It's no, it happens every now and then, but recently it goes on and on. Hope it's not creating too much noise there. Is there anybody else who would like to come in?
Hi.
Hello, Andreas.
How we are cutting ourselves off from the basic energy? Is it by just identification with our body and mind and caring, or with thinking about ourselves?
The more we are getting locked into that attitude that I'm a person separate, and then build up just the interest that I struggle for my personal benefit and give a damn about how much it hurts everybody around. The more we are getting in that direction, the more we are cutting ourselves off from our essence, from our true nature.
So the remedy would be to feel connected to everybody else.
I mean, it's a good exercise. You can consciously try to feel connected. Or another remedy is simply be aware of what we are doing. When we are aware how much we are into that, in that current that creates the sense of separation, then if you observe immediately also we understand it creates something that is not nice, it's not natural. Actually, nobody really likes that space. We can convince ourselves in our head that we like it and I want to be like this, but if we have a good look, it doesn't feel right. It feels unnatural. And so the remedy is, again, mainly being aware of what's going on. And being aware of what's going on, the natural movement is to remove those things that want to cut us off from our source. For we are nourished and we live out of our source. So who wants to cut that off?
Yeah, someone who thinks that it's all about me.
Right. They simply are so caught up in their mind and so deluded and so unaware what is really happening that they try to desperately think, how can I make my life happier, more successful, more, in any way, whatever they think of. And then just think and think and think, and it's only thoughts and cutting more and more the attention off from the heart. And I don't mean from emotions, but the heart from the source, from that natural way of existing. And somebody who goes like this, there are these energies that are quite happy about it because they like those energies. they feed on that, so they will come and push you and support you to think more like that, to feel more like that, to become more unnatural, to become more destructive of life around, always thinking, if I'm going that way, I can squeeze out the most sense of fulfillment and happiness for myself.
Next week, I'm starting a Zen retreat, a Zeshi.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the danger is always that I get into my meditation and like my states of mind. I have to do something. And even though they are very much always saying that you do it for the benefit of all beings, like their term is bodhicitta, to even sacrifice your own enlightenment for the benefit of all other beings. And I'm always having a little bit difficulties with that. But when I hear you talk, I think, this might be very beneficial if I not so. I really watch my tendencies to just care about myself.
Care about your real self and not about the image. And then you are on the right track. We don't have to somehow deny ourselves in order to be a good person and do the good thing for the world. Be good to yourself. And being good to yourself means that we also have a good, honest look at ourselves and see where we are hurting ourselves. And all those things that are hurting ourselves are the destructive stuff, are the stuff that creates more the sense of separation. And if we remove that, we are doing the best for ourselves and simultaneously the best for everybody else. So it's not that you have to sacrifice your life in order that the others are better. You make the best out of your situation, out of your life. The best means that the more and more you are aware of that beauty and joyousness that is there and let it come up bubbling and make your life fulfilled, and then you radiate it and everybody else gets also benefited by it.
And yeah, the sense of separation is very strong in me. It's just like, yeah, I don't know. And I don't natural. It's not very natural for me to feel connected to everybody else.
Right, we are all brought up like this, so it's not an easy thing to give up, but it's good to start to think in that direction and then have a good look and see how am I strengthening that sense of separation. Whenever I'm doing this kind of selfish stuff, that is strengthening the feeling of separation. People who do something bad to somebody else, they without having a reason, without being aware of, they're usually angry after that with the people whom they have been ill-treating in order, and they hold on to that in order to justify themselves that they do this kind of thing. And if we are starting to have a good look at ourselves, then we see we are hurting ourselves by holding on to, and everything that strengthens that sense of separation is hurting ourselves and is hurting the others. You don't have to artificially now try to feel, okay, I'm connected to everything. You can do such exercises sometimes and just try as an exercise, but be true to yourself. Observe and see where this sense of separation is getting stronger, because they are always against our natural way of existing. And then we can learn to let those go, and then the sense of separation disappears gradually, and eventually you simply don't feel disconnected.
Yeah, that seems far away.
It's a fact that is even now there. It's not far away.
Okay.
It can become an experience.
Yeah.
I'm not meaning like that after that you feel everything what happens in a person near you, that you know all the thoughts and the feelings and whatever is going on. Some people may develop also that capacity, but just that sense of being connected will start to be there instead of that sense of being separate.
One of my major traps that makes me very concerned about myself is when I'm low in energy. Like in the mornings, last time I said I always have problems with my sinuses, that yeah, they're itching, and it's like hay fever, and so and this always, yeah, if I don't feel good, and this feeling bad always makes keeps my attention on myself. Any advice for that?
Again, on yourself is nothing wrong, but not on that mine image I have about myself. If you do something that your body feels better because of whatever is there troubling your body, there is absolutely nothing wrong. But don't get obsessed, and then it's only that which counts, and to hell with everybody else. You can do that. Be nice to your own manifestation and look that what you can do in order to heal it, to treat it well, without thinking I need to do so, and in order to do so, I have to be somehow negative with others and create a gap. It doesn't create a gap if you have some physical trouble. If you treat it, doesn't create a gap of me and the others. There's nothing wrong with doing so. What is creating the trouble is that I have the tendency to get so totally fixed on that me sense. And then as soon as there is a confrontation, instead of harmoniously deal with it, then it comes, every action and reaction comes out of that me sense, and often destructive for myself and for the others. If I have some physical troubles, but I treat them, but still keep centering in that sense of being, in that sense of timelessness of the now, then I still, in spite of that, in spite of spending some time and energy treating my own manifestation, then still that openness will be there of feeling connected with others and not reacting like destructive if something comes along that is not exactly to my best liking.
I'm almost never destructive to other people, or very rarely. It's
Yeah.
not so much that I have conflict with other people. It's just more about the feeling separate inside myself, that I'm not feeling connected. And yeah.
Hmm.
It's usually not so much that I have trouble.
Yeah, that's great. So connect with yourself, with your essence. And the more you do that, the more that sense of separation gradually disappears. It's not that you have to artificially try, and how does now that tree over that field, what is exactly going on in that bird. You can do that as an exercise if you want to, but that troubling, limiting, painful sense of separation will disappear the more you connect with your own essence.
Yeah, if it happens, sometimes in meditation, I have the feeling that it opens up, and then it's not so, it's just like broader, then it's not so much me.
Right. And it may start to happen also more and more in the time where you are not officially meditating.
This is very difficult over here in this spa town, Bad Rotenfeld. It is like us people feel very spießig.
But wherever you are, it is possible. Don't make the circumstances responsible.
How would you deal? I mean, I feel very different from a lot of the people around here.
Right. Then when you go out and you see them and see how they are living, how they are functioning, and you feel different. So what? They are other expressions of that same life as you are. And they feel the way they feel, they live their life the way they live. And if you don't mind, if you don't start to judge them and accept, okay, that's how they are and how they live, then that sense of feeling separate from them also is weakening, getting less.
Not judging.
No judging.
Okay.
That doesn't mean you should do the opposite. Some people try to do that, and then they go around and say, oh, they are all so very nice, and you know very well. It's not honest, because some people have done misbehaved, and they are so nice, and that is just another trick to stay in the personality and think I'm now a good, nice spiritual person, that I'm talking like this. No, you can very well see when you see things that you feel they are not nice, and they are maybe not right. But you can accept that people who do them and live like that and do what they are doing, that for them it seems the right thing to do. And then we stop judging them.
and that the people feel very uptight most of the time.
Right.
Yeah, just very rigid.
And then you can see that rigidity, and you can see what it is doing to yourself, that you also have the tendency to get a bit more rigid when you're amongst them, and then relax that instead of judging them and thinking, these people, it's not good to be with them. Then you see what effect they have on you, and you relax and let go. And in relaxing in their midst, you help also them to just get a little bit less rigid.
Okay.
Okay. Shall we leave it at that?
Yes. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Adios.
If anybody likes to come in, we have a little more time. What I said to Nelly, actually, we are doing everything for ourselves. And what I just said to Andreas, we can learn to accept the people the way they are. I mean, if somebody is destructive and creating pain to others, we can interfere and guide them, if possible, in a way that they stop doing so. By being judgmental about others, usually we are also always judgmental about ourselves and strengthening that sense of separation. If I see in myself things that I don't like, there's no need of being judgmental. I just see it's still there, so some more work is needed, and I can work on it and let it go. If I see and confront things in people around me that I think they are not nice, then I need not try to make a mental acrobatic and start to think, oh no, they are very nice. No, maybe the things that are happening and they are doing are not nice, but I can learn to let go, like with myself, with my own person, with their person, to get rid of the judgmentality and accept from their perspective that's what they feel they have to do. But we can not wait for the circumstances that they are harmonious and then also we become harmonious. Our job is to be the lights in the darkness. Our job is to work on ourselves. And then if we live in circumstances that are not very inspiring, then let us be a light in the midst of that and bring something living, something beautiful, something creative in the place. If we go to one place and there the people, they are all in a mood that have the tendency to pull us more down into a dark mood, then let's not be judgmental about it. That these are not good people, but then either we can go around them, but many times we may not be able to go around them, and then there in the midst, there we can do the opposite and just connect with our own true nature, with that beauty, with that lightfulness, with that expansion, and consciously radiate it in that place. Actually, again, we are the first who are benefiting because it doesn't suck us into that darkness. On top of that, we are giving something very precious to the people that are there, whether they are immediately capable of consciously making use of it or not, that doesn't matter. Still, something very beautiful goes to them. And our vulnerability of the circumstances, what they are doing to us, is reducing while doing so. I wish you all well. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om.